Hello, it's good to see you. Today we're going to discuss a little bit of hypothetical gossip, possibly. But first, I got a little bee in my bonnet. I got something I want to say. I had to delete a picture of chickens that I put on the community tab earlier today. Y'all filled up my filtered comments section, cussing each other out over whether or not you should be out in public because of the galloping consumption we're dealing with right now. I did not mean to ignite a firestorm of vitriol. All I wanted to do was show you a picture of some chickens and to tell you that I saw it when I went to Goodwill today. I did not realize that everybody was going to get tore out of frame over it and start cussing each other out and trying to out-quarantine one another. It was the weirdest display of one-upsmanship I've ever seen. Well, I haven't been out in a week. Well, I've been home for 2 weeks. Are you washing your hands? Yes, I am. Do you wear your gloves? Well, yes, I do. What kind of mask do you wear? Like, this is not the place for it. It is not. Now I will tell you, the way I am, I don't care what your beliefs are. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what kind of religion you have. And I don't care what your beliefs are about this pandemic. I don't care. I am not going to tolerate it. I don't tolerate people who try to agitate others over politics. I don't tolerate people who try to agitate people over religion. And I will not tolerate this. If you want to come on here and raise a ruckus, I will instantly block you, permanently block you. I don't care if you've been commenting here for years. I will block you and you will never comment here again. I don't mean to get upset, but it pisses me off. I'm tired of it. I wanted to tell you the story behind going to Goodwill today, but I went on there earlier. I went into my comment section and I saw how many comments. There were like 50 comments in my filtered little tab from that one community post of some chickens, a picture of chickens. People screaming at one another about going out. And it went off in avenues and in tangents I couldn't believe. It's unbelievable. I understand this is a tense time and people are upset, but this is not the place for it. If it bothers you that I went into a Goodwill store today, then don't watch my videos anymore. I'm fed up. I've had it. I'm sick of it. And it ain't April 1st. I'm genuinely sick of it. Go somewhere else with that. Hang on a minute. I'm going to tell you about my experience in Goodwill, and I'm going to tell you how I ended up in there. Okay, first of all, they're only allowing a handful of people in the store at a time. We're talking maybe 12 people, 10 to 12 people at a time. So you have people waiting in line 6 feet apart outside of the store. And they are very strict about only letting a certain number in at a time. You cannot leave. You cannot go in. There's an employee at the door at all times. You are required to wear a mask. You have to follow the patterns, the arrows on the floor. If you do not, they will ask you to leave the store. All the employees are wearing masks. Everything was done according to, all the guidelines that have been set forth, at least in this state. Everything was being done properly. We waited in line, and I'll tell you who I was with. My kids weren't with me. I'll tell you how I even ended up there. I did not feel that it was unsafe at all. Everyone was keeping a respectable distance, and we were all told if you do not abide by the rules, you will be asked to leave immediately. I did not feel that it was unsafe. I will tell you right now, anytime you go into any grocery store around here or Walmart, it's packed. I'd say if you're going to catch the Rona, you're way more likely to do it in any other store that's open around here, and it's been that way for weeks. I felt safer in that Goodwill than I felt in any store since this whole thing got started. But the mere fact that I went into a Goodwill set people ablaze. You would not believe some of the things these people said. I was called horrible names because I went into a Goodwill store today. Those people are blocked. You will never comment here again. And you were calling other people horrible names. You will not be back. Okay, let me tell you how I ended up there. This is not theoretical. Just forget all that. Okay. I have had tons and tons of stuff that I wanted to take to a thrift store. If you don't like Goodwill, that's fine. Don't take your stuff to Goodwill. I didn't have any of your stuff here, so none of your stuff ended up at Goodwill. I am sorry, I'm mad, but I've just had it. Every day I get comments from people. Why are you going out? How come you're not working from home right now? Are you washing your hands? Are you wearing gloves? Are you keeping your children safe? I feel like Harvest is stalking me, and it's weird, and I'm just weary. I'm weary. So I found out this morning, Glinda the Good Witch. Now, y'all don't know you may not know who Glinda the Good Witch is. Let me explain. I have 3 ex-husbands. See, I believe in putting all my information out there so nobody's going to come out of the woodwork and say, oh, y'all don't know Mary. Let me tell you about her. No, I'll tell you. I'm totally upfront. I have 3 ex-husbands. I divorced them myself. They didn't leave me. I left them. For different reasons. It's complicated. Glinda the Good Witch is my current ex. He's my 3rd ex. He and I still have a good relationship. We still get along fine. Basically, it was a blended family that didn't blend. He had 3 boys. I had 2. They were all under the age of 12. And the 7 of us in a house together, we tried it for 3 years. We tried therapy. We tried all kinds of things. It just didn't work. That, in a nutshell, is why we divorced. Well, he sent me a link this morning. I'd just gotten to work, and he sent me a link, and he said, look, they have announced that, and it was an article from yesterday, and they announced that certain Goodwill locations in Greensboro are being allowed to open May the 1st. Limited hours. They have done a thorough deep clean of every store. They have been certified by the state and the health department to be clean. They have done thorough deep cleanings. They're going to continue to do regular deep cleanings every single day of these stores, or weekly, or whatever it is. They're being very careful to wipe everything down. It's like sterile in there. I have never seen Goodwill that clean ever. And it didn't have that funky thrift store smell. It smelled like Lysol, basically. It was weird. Like, I almost miss the smell. You know how all thrift stores have that smell? Like, I kind of miss that. I never thought I would say that, but I miss the funky thrift store smell. So anyway, I guess I should tell you why I call him Glinda the Good Witch. My 3 ex-husbands are like the witches from The Wizard of Oz. Okay, my first ex and I were married when I was younger. We weren't married long. It was long story. It involved the cult that I was in, and we didn't know each other very well when we got married. Anyway, he's like the Wicked Witch of the East. Not in the story very long. Don't really know much about them, but you get the general idea that they're not great, but they're gone. You know, a house didn't fall on him, but he's gone. And then my second husband would be like the Wicked Witch of the West. Much more involved in the story, much more wicked than the Wicked Witch of the East. Has flying monkeys, you know, just basically would throw apples at me probably if given the chance. You know, but that was the trees that did that, but at her behest. But anyway, Wicked Witch of the West. My third ex is like Glinda the Good Witch. He's an ex, but he's the best of the bunch. He's actually an awesome guy. Well, so he sent me this link and said, hey, you know, because we both love going to thrift stores. He said, look at this. He said, I may have to get off work early. I want to go to one of the open stores. And there are, I think, 3 locations in Greensboro that are now open, limited hours every day. And they're taking donations. I said, oh my God. I said, I have so much stuff I want to go drop off. And so I got off. I only had to work for a little bit this morning. I got off work at like 11 o'clock this morning. So I went home and I pulled the truck up to where I could load it easily. I have my pickup truck. And I filled the entire bed of my truck with stuff. And I looked totally full. And that I couldn't get it all in there. There's more that I'm going to have to take at some other point because I couldn't get it all in there. I was afraid it was going to blow out. And there was this one I wanted to go to in particular. But to get there, I have to get on 85 for a little while. And you go really fast. I didn't want anything blowing out the back. So anyway, I got everything bagged up. And I went to one of the locations that was open. And when I got there, I had tons of stuff. And some of it was really heavy. My kids helped me get it in the truck, but they did not come with me. I was just by myself. And but when I got there, the guy at the donation door said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, we're not allowed to take anything out of your vehicle. You have to bring everything and put them in these marked bins." And I said, "But some of it's really heavy." He said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, we're not allowed to interact. And, it's social distancing. We can't do it. I'm sorry." So I'm struggling with this stuff, and I'm like, man, I wish my 15-year-old was here. He could really help me with this stuff, but I thought, it's okay. I'll get it. But I was pulling stuff out of the truck, and I looked up, and there's Glenn the Good Witch. I'm like, "What are you doing here?" He said, "Well, I'm taking a long lunch. I came up here just to see what, because that's one of his favorite Goodwills. I didn't know he was going to be there. He didn't know I was going to be there." He said, "I saw you come through the parking lot with your stuff." And so he came over. He had just gotten there, and he came over and helped me get everything out. It was great because I would have really struggled with some of that stuff. So we got it all in the designated bins, and he said, "Are you going in?" And I said, "Well, I had not planned on it." I said, "I've been watching a lot of Hoarders episodes lately. I know I don't need any more stuff, but I haven't been in Goodwill in about 3 months, and I wouldn't mind going in there." But there was a long line of people waiting to go in. And, they're all 6 feet apart. They were monitoring that way more carefully than any other establishment around here I've seen. They were very strict about it. And if you got out of line, they would, if you didn't do what they said, they would tell you to leave. I mean, they were not playing. And he said, "Well, I'm going in." And I said, "You know what? I'll wait with you." Because we hadn't seen each other in a while. So I thought it'd be nice to catch up, So we're just standing there waiting and talking. And so we had our masks and everything. We had our masks on and everything. And so we went in. And again, they're very strict about it. You have to follow the arrows on the floor. You cannot go any old way you want to. They will warn you once, and then they will tell you to leave. I saw them do that to 2 different people who just were not paying any mind to it. I couldn't go in without a mask. A lot of people get on to me and say, "Well, you need to be wearing gloves." Only if every time I touch something I change gloves is that going to really help. But I'm not going to debate it. And I don't think I'm going to allow comments in this video, because I do apologize. I know this isn't very relaxing. I'm very agitated. So we were in there, and all I got were 2 DVDs. I can't even remember the names of them. No, one of them was The Social Network, and the other one, it was based on a true story, and it was about Woodstock. It was something going to Woodstock or return to Woodstock or something. I'd seen a preview for it, and it looked really good, but then I forgot all about it. Well, I got these DVDs for 99 cents a piece, and they had tons of DVDs. They had hundreds of DVDs and Blu-rays. Oh my gosh. We stood over there looking at the movies for quite a while. And there was nobody over there. It was just us. It was weird. But that's all I bought. That's all I got. He bought a pottery bowl. It was beautiful. It was some Seagrove pottery from Seagrove, North Carolina. It was beautiful. It was like $4. I don't know. Somebody probably paid $50 for that bowl. It was beautiful. I was going to get it if he didn't get it. But he wanted it, so I'll let him have it. And we caught up and we talked about all kinds of stuff. And it was a very pleasant experience. And then after we left the store, we stood outside and talked for a while. And, he was looking at my truck. And I was telling him that I'm thinking about getting a spray-in bed liner put in my truck and just shooting the breeze. He's thinking about buying some land up in the mountains in Virginia. He wants to build a house up there. And I don't know, we were just talking. It was really nice. That was the first face-to-face conversation I've had with another adult since this whole lockdown thing got started. And I will be honest with you, it was nice. It was nice to feel normal for a little bit, to go into Goodwill and have a conversation with somebody. It was wonderful. It was the best thing that's happened all week. The best thing that's happened. Well, one of the best things. It was great. And I'm sorry if going to Goodwill has upset people. I was not meaning to upset anyone by showing you a picture of some chickens with an American flag behind them. I didn't mean to upset you by telling you I did that. But I will tell you right now, nobody here is staying home. Nobody. You can go out on the road. It's just as crowded as it always is. Nobody's staying at home. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to feel about it anymore. I mean, I can't do anything about it. I can't change people's behavior. I wear my mask. I wash my hands. I don't go out a lot, but I did want to take the stuff to Goodwill. I would not have gone in if Glinda the Good Witch had not been there. But I'm glad I did because we got to talk and shop together like we used to. And it was nice. It was nice. We didn't come anywhere near anybody. They had all the cashiers behind plexiglass. You don't touch anything. They don't touch anything. It was a very... I tell you what, Walmart and all the other stores around here could learn a thing or two from the way Goodwill is handling this. They're doing a much better job than any other store I've seen, hands down. I overheard several employees, this is the first day they've been open, I overheard several employees talking to one another, and they all said they were glad to be back. They missed being at work. They were glad the store had reopened. Now that's anecdotal, but that's what I heard. I heard them say they were glad to be back, and they were glad the store was open again. That's what they said. This whole thing sucks. It just, everything about it sucks. I'm tired of getting yelled at. I'm tired of cashiers yelling at me for putting Tic Tacs on a conveyor belt. I'm tired of people judging me for everything I do, everything I don't do. It's just tiresome. It's just tiresome. And I'm tired of it. What else was I going to tell you? I have to tell you about a couple of developments that may or may not have happened. One over there, one over here. This house is still empty. This guy isn't speaking to me anymore, although something really funny did happen. I forgot about it. Who should I start with? Let me start with Itchy and Scratchy because that was a big development, theoretically. Scratchy has moved out. Now, I don't know what happened. I think there was some sort of argument. I don't know. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything. But Scratchy is gone. Scratchy had this pink Jeep. It was the ugliest thing. It was like somebody took the innards of a Barbie doll and turned it into a vehicle. It was just it was just really tacky. I didn't like it. It was this screaming pink and it had gold glitter stars all over it. It was like a Barbie car come to life, basically. Well, it's not been over there for about a week now. She's gone. And she took the rooster and Boots with her. Now, Itchy is very upset. I know they're gone because I don't hear the rooster anymore. And Boots I had not seen in a while, but I heard Itchy on the back deck. I wasn't eavesdropping. I was putting food in the bird feeders. And Itchy came out on the back deck with her cell phone. And she's yelling. And I heard her say Scratchy's name. And she was talking to Scratchy on the phone and said, "You need to bring Boots and the rooster back. You don't have a right to take them. She's going to get a lawyer." I'm like, what? Oh my God. She said she was going to lawyer up and get them back because they are intellectual property. I don't think she quite understands what intellectual property is. That's okay. A rooster and a dog are not, I guess the concept of their channels or their Instagram stuff is intellectual property, but the creatures are not. But she was cussing at her and yelling at her, and then Joe came out there and told her to, get off the phone. The less you say to her, the better. Just save it for the lawyer. Don't say anything else to her. She could be recording the call. You don't need any of this on tape. You sound unhinged. And then she got mad at Joe because he said she sounded unhinged, and then they went back in the house. Now, this was 2 days ago. I have not seen the Jeep come back. I have not seen Scratchy come back. So I think there's been a little falling out with our throuple over there. So that was interesting. So now I guess they don't have any animals anymore. That was it. So I don't know. But it's been remarkably quiet over there other than that. Now that Scratchy's gone. I don't know if she'll be back or not. It'd be interesting to see. But if they get a lawyer and they end up doing court stuff, which a lot of the courts are shut down. Like, I don't think you can really do much right now legally in courts. The courts are like shut. I don't know what they could do. But, from my experience, once you get lawyers involved and you file stuff with the court, you're going to sever ties with that person. It's never going to be the same again. I never thought I'd say this, but I kind of hope they work it out for their own sake. I've kind of become accustomed to their weirdness. The rooster situation is not cool, but apparently nobody's going to do anything about it. I don't want to talk about that anymore. I had an Amazon package delivered. It was a few days ago. And the Amazon guy accidentally left it on Buffalo Bill's porch. Now, it was my high-key chocolate chip cookies, so I was really upset because I wanted my cookies. But it was sitting on his porch because I got the message saying the package had been delivered. So I went to the front door, it wasn't there. I went to the side door, it wasn't there. I went to the back patio, wasn't there. Where's my box? Where's my package? So I pulled up the Amazon app and I looked at the picture and I showed it to my son. I said, that's not my porch. He said, that's Buffalo Bill's porch. I said, oh my God, you're right. It is his porch. And I went out on the driveway and I looked and my package was sitting right by his front door. I told my son, I said, I will give you a can of Pepsi if you'll go over there and get that. He said, no way. But you would send me over there. You want me to die? I don't want to get chopped up. He's as freaked out by Buffalo Bill as I am. He said, no way. I said, I'm not going over there. He said, well, then I guess your package is just going to sit there. I said, I guess so. So I went back in the house, and later I opened the door to go out and check the mail or something, and the package was sitting on my step. So I guess Buffalo Bill found it and brought it over there. And the mere thought of him walking over into my house just gives me the willies, but I was really happy to have my cookies, so I decided to overlook it. Yeah. He didn't ring the doorbell or anything. He just left it by the door. So I haven't seen him. You know, he tried to talk to me that one day, and ever since I think he's been actively avoiding me. If we both pull up in the driveway at the same time, he'll sit in his car till I go in the house. I guess he just feels weird. I don't know. Maybe it was a coincidence. Maybe he was listening to a song. I've done that. But he's been staying home a lot lately. He's had some company, though. I think he has a girlfriend or something. There's a van. It's a company. I'm not going to say what it is because it's a local company. There's a van that's been coming over to his house. And at first I thought maybe they were doing some work there. But this van has been staying there overnight. And it's a lady driving the van. She's pretty. She's a young lady. I think he has a little sweetheart. It's very interesting. So he's had a little quarantine company lately. So, maybe that's why he's not talking to me anymore. He hooked up with, I almost said the name of, never mind. I think he has a sweetheart, which is really cool. And my neighbors back behind me, theoretically, did something really weird. I don't even know how to feel about it. The other day, I saw them back there. The guy, the one, his kids broke my owl, and he said, no, they didn't. Theoretically, he was back there with dead chickens, like plucked chickens with the head and feet intact. He had them sitting on a grate, and he was blasting them with a propane torch. He had about 6 of them out there, and he was holding them up and blasting them and then laying them down and hitting them with them. I've never seen, what kind of cooking technique is that? He did that for about 10 minutes. He thoroughly hit them with this propane torch, and then he had this giant red and white bucket, and the funny thing about it was this huge plastic bucket. It was like this big, and it was white, and it had red stripes on it, and the funny thing about it, it looked like a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken with the red and white, but it was just a plastic bucket. So he blasts them for about 10 minutes, and then he dumps them all. He turns the torch off, dumps them all in the bucket, and takes them in the house. That's a new one. I don't know if he's stuck at home and experimenting with different cooking techniques. I don't know where the chickens came from. I don't know if he plucked them himself. I have no idea what is going on over there. It was so weird. I had to pull my phone out theoretically, and make a video of it because I just couldn't believe he was doing it. My son was at his dad's house, and I sent him the video. theoretically. And my son was like, oh my God. I said, I know. What is that? He said, are those rubber chickens? I said, I don't think so. They actually did kind of look like rubber chickens, but I think they were real, hypothetically. And the other thing that has happened this week, and I haven't talked about it, and it's not hypothetical, we got a kitten. I have a little 6-week-old little kitten that looks a lot like Evie. Not because it's related to Evie. There was this guy who, his neighbor acquired 2 female cats from somewhere. And apparently the cats weren't spayed. And they both got pregnant. And when they got pregnant, for some reason, they left her house and took up at his house. And they both had litters about 3 weeks apart. So we ended up with 9 kittens. And needed to find homes. And I ended up taking one of them. So the little female, she's not a tortoiseshell. She tried to be a tortoiseshell. Her back is kind of tortoiseshell, but then she has brown tabby stripes on the rest of her body. And she has a light, like a beige colored face with tabby stripes. I don't have any pictures of her for now to show you. But let me tell you, you know all the trouble I had with Dexter, the other cat that I saved from my dad's house? He has a good home. He has a very good home, and he is very happy. I posted some pictures of him on Instagram and my Facebook page. He's very happy in his new home. He has 2 other cat friends there, and he's doing great. You remember all the trouble I had with Evie and Pumpkin with Dexter? They never got along. It was a nightmare. We tried for like 2 months, and it was awful. This kitten, we've had this kitten for less than 3 days. Evie and Pumpkin are already totally fine with her. I didn't have to do anything. They hissed at her a little bit, and that was it. And then they're like, oh, okay, she lives here now. That's cool. And they interact with her, and they're fine with her. It's amazing. It's awesome. And she took to the litter box right away. That was no problem. We are having a ball with this kitten because we're home most of the time, and we're playing with her, and it's been great. It's a nice balance. I like to find balance in my life. So all the stress of the corona, the pandemic stuff, the stress of that is kind of counterbalanced with the joy of this little kitten. And I'll show you the kitten later. I just wanted to vent a little bit. I'm sorry. There's nothing relaxing about this, and I do apologize. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm not going to tolerate it. If you want to criticize me or judge me, it's, maybe this is not the right channel for you. If you don't like what I do, I'm fine with it. I just wanted to let you know what was going on and let you know that you're stressed out. I'm stressed out too. I'm dealing with a lot of the same stresses that you are. I have my kids here. They're trying to do online school. I'm stressed about all the same stuff you are. I'm just trying to get by just like you. I'm not a robot. I'm not a vending machine that dispenses videos. I'm a human being. And sometimes it gets to me too. And I'm a grown woman. I don't need you to check on me and make sure I'm using my hand sanitizer and my mask. I'm fine. Everybody here's fine. This is not my normal video, and I'm sorry. But yeah, we have a kitten. And I got to have a real conversation with somebody today. And it was somebody that I actually wanted to talk to, that I was not expecting to see. And it was nice. It was pleasant. And we talked about Ozark, because he was the one who told me to watch Ozark. And I finished it before he did. He just started the 3rd season. I said, oh, Lord, hold on. You fasten your seatbelt, because season 3 is crazy. He said, are you serious? Even more than season 2? I said, oh, yeah. You won't believe it. It is nuts. But it was nice. So, even in the midst of all the bad stuff, you have to hold on to the good stuff. And that's what I've tried to do. And, yeah. So, the neighborhood theoretically has been, for the most part, fairly quiet. Except for the guy up there with the vroom vroom bike. He still has not been able to get it to run. He still works on it every day for at least an hour or 2, sometimes longer. And it's driving everybody in the house crazy because it's so incredibly loud. And you can't get away from it. I'm in the house with the doors and windows shut. I have my noise machine on, I have, the TV on or the radio or whatever, you can still hear it. You can't get away from it. You can't escape. It's awful. But yeah, I don't know what to do about him. He refuses to give up on it. He keeps yelling at it and, getting mad, but he keeps trying. So, I guess I'll give him credit for his tenacity, but I really wish he'd just give up. Like, just stop. Just stop. It's never going to run. It's a piece of junk. Forget it. But when I say I hope you're doing well, I really mean it. I really hope you're doing well. And, we all, it's like you experience the full range of emotions on a regular basis during this thing. And I do too. So, but hang in there. And I hope you have a great day. And I'll see you again soon.